Welcome and hello. This is a video tutorial on HEC ResSim, and in this lesson, I'm going to be discussing reservoir network importers. If you've just created a watershed, it may be more easy or convenient to import an entire network or parts of a network from an existing network rather than build everything yourself. So that's the purpose behind importers. What I have on the screen here is a stream alignment. So that can be sketched out in the watershed setup module. I've created a watershed. I've sketched out a stream alignment, and then I've saved. And that's the only thing I've done. Now to begin importing networks and network properties, we need to go over and select reservoir networks as our module. And then let's get to work. So the first of the two import options is to import the entire network. It's called the Import Network Wizard. And we would access that by going Network and then Import Networks. So what I have here is the Import Network dialog box. It says steps 1 of 6. Over in the left panel, it says Watershed Locations, and this is my shortcuts. So for this to work, to import data from a source network or the entire network, it needs to be located in one of these watershed locations, and these are directories. And these watershed locations are synonymous with shortcuts. So let me close this real quick and show you that as a quick detour, a quick side quest here. If you go up to Tools and then Options, the first tab you see here is Shortcuts. And this is the same list that we just saw. So if you haven't already done this step, this is the first step you need to do. It's quite easy. Just go ahead and click Add Shortcuts, which you could just think of as adding a watershed directory, a directory you keep all your watersheds saved in. Give it a name, click Browse, browse to that location, and then click OK. After you've created one, you can remove it or edit it and then add more as you like. But I've created one just for lessons and exercises, so that's what I'm seeing on my screen. Okay, so that's taken care of. Again, let's go up to Network, Import Network, and then here are my two directories. So I'm going to import a network from Watershed Video 50. So I'm going to scroll down. Here is the watershed. Your watersheds will probably not be named Video 50. It'll probably be actually the name of the watershed, so that's fine. Also in this dialog box, this is step 1 of 6. You can see at the top. And I also want to direct your attention to the bold text right here. It tells you exactly what that step is about. So select your watershed. Okay, got it. It's selected, and then click Next. All right, the next step, 2 of 6 says select the network to import elements from. So now I'm identifying the source network, and there's only one network in the selected watershed Video 50. So I select that, I click Next, and then the next step is to set the new name of the network and description. So it gives me a default name, Network 1. I'll accept that. And then the description, I'll say copy from Video 50 watershed lessons. Okay. I'll click Next. And now I'm seeing a list on the next screen, step 4 of 6, of all of the elements of that network. What it's asking me to do is assign stream names. So the first 3 columns here are all grayed out because they're not editable. It's just the imported element, the element type, and then from stream. So this stream that I've sketched out here in my new watershed, this is called stream 1, and it's the only stream there is. So that's why I have it selected, and it's from stream 1 as well. So this is a little bit of a trivial case, but I just always call my stream 1. If you happen to have lots of streams and you want to make sure it's the correct stream, you would select this drop down and select the correct stream. Also, there is a button down here, Assign Stream Names. So if you had a lot of streams like A, B, C, D, and E, then you can select A, B, C, D, and E to match them up appropriately if they weren't already coming in correctly. So I'll click Next. Step 5 of 6 says Resolve Network Computation Points. Now, I don't have any computation points in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and click Next. But if I did, then I could assign those computation points to the existing computation points in the source network. Next. Okay, so it's just telling me here that the elements were not assigned to specific computation points. That's fine. Now here's step 6 of 6. It's a summary. It's basically telling me what all is going to happen when I click Finish. Here's the mapping. It tells me that the computation points are not mapped. Yeah, that's about it. So I'll go ahead and click finish and then yes. And I don't see anything on the screen right now, but don't worry about that because it should be saved if I go to network and then open. Here is my network. I swear this was not here before. We have the copy from video 50 label right here. And let's go ahead and open that up. And here is my network. It's got junctions and that reservoir and a couple of reaches. The only thing that's a little weird is this the pool, a little bit out of shape. So let me just fix that and double click. Okay. And then I can just kind of reshape the reservoir pool as I wish. So that's how to import a network into your watershed from another watershed. And then I'm going to go ahead and save that. So that's fixed. The other import tool that ResSim provides is to import specific properties from elements such as the reservoir, reach, junction, and diversions. So what I don't have yet but want to import is inflow into this CP1 as an example. So right now I don't have any local flow into CP1, and I'm not going to add it manually because I want to demonstrate this import process. So I can click it or not, doesn't matter. Go edit and then import element properties. And now I'm seeing all my elements. Now CP1 is just checked by default. I believe that's because it was selected here. But I have another 6 steps for this import properties wizard. So I'll go through those one at a time. The next step is to identify the watershed. It's actually going to be in exercise video 28 watershed. And then the network is network 1. And then here it's telling me to assign the network elements. So CP1 is the source. I'm sorry, the target. And then imported from is the junction it's the junction in the source network. And it's again, CP1. So I'll click next. No unresolved network connectivity. Not a problem. Next. And then as before, this is a summary just showing me what's going to happen. So I'll click finish. It's asking me if I'm sure. I say yes. The import appears successful. So I'll close that. And then I should have a local inflow at this particular junction. I don't see the ring around the circle yet. So let's edit. And sure enough, there it is. Import CP1 is the local flow that is assigned to this junction that we assign by importing that property from a different junction from a different network in a different watershed file. So I'll click OK. And that is my tutorial on importing entire networks and then also specific properties from other networks using ResSim.